What is going on, Pittsburghers? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money on the Trainer podcast. It's your boy, Brian Mark, and in today's episode, we are discussing follower ads. Now, before I get into today's episode, I think it's important that I let you guys know about the situation going on with my Instagram. You guys have noticed that I've done a little bit less podcasts this week. Honestly, these last couple of weeks have been crazy. We went to New York to see Kevin Hart, which was dope. And then that was a full weekend. And as soon as we came back, I flew to Nashville 3 days later, and I took a red eye overnight from basically Wednesday night at midnight. And then I was in Nashville until Saturday. I stayed the whole day Saturday, flew back Sunday morning around like 6 a.m. So for the last basically 2 weeks straight, I've been either traveling on the road, working full time, and I haven't really had the time to breathe, to be transparent. So I'm a big believer in universal energy. And what I mean by that is I think that when I feel good, good shit happens. And when I don't feel good, bad shit happens. So I think the energy that you put out is the energy that you get back. And typically speaking, I have a pretty good system to manage my energy on a regular basis. I know how to keep myself in a good state. I know how to keep myself in flow. I know how to keep myself feeling good. But these last couple weeks have gotten away from me. And so as a result, the last couple weeks getting away from me, I'm noticing more problems popping up in my life than usual. And I'm taking this as a sign to, definitely take a slight step back and just focus more on myself. So thankfully I've got this weekend where I'm just going to be by myself in my house, relaxing, chilling out, maxing all cool, and giving myself the ability to breathe and decompress, because truthfully, I've been going straight for 14 days. Longer than that, it's been closer to 21. And I can definitely feel my body and my mind kind of running into some issues. Now, talking about universal energy, and the reason we're bringing up this conversation is something happened the other day, and that is not fun. So I posted, a regular client transformation that I usually have. Like one of my clients, Abram, made $1.9 million in 12 months. Instagram did not like that. And Instagram said that was an unrealistic claim. And as a result, they restricted my account. Not only did they restrict my account so that I can't be shown to non-followers, they actually made it so that I can't go live for 365 days. And so if you usually watch my live streams on Instagram and you haven't seen them, the reason is I can't post live streams right now, and I won't be able to for 365 days. So I found this out very recently. I found this out basically, 48 hours ago. And as soon as it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, because on average right now per month, we're getting, 10.7 to 14 million views a month. And 50% of that is coming from non-followers. So as soon as that happened, I realized we're going to have a potential issue, because a lot of the, inbound traffic that I get and a lot of leads that I get end up coming from my non-followers. So for the last basically 24 to 48 hours, I've been really deep diving into what I can do to make sure that my account continues to get shown to people that aren't following me. And what I have basically come to the conclusion of is follower ads. So as soon as this happened with my account, what I did is I have an agency that I work with. I pay X dollars per month, and then they run all my ads for me. I went to my agency and I sent them a couple of follower ads, and I'm like, I need you guys to run these on the back end immediately. And so they started running them on the back end. And then 24 hours later, I checked in and I was like, yeah, what's the cost per follower? My agency told me, unfortunately, we can't track cost per follower on the back end. So what that means for me is that I need to track it on the front end. So I'm going to give you guys a quick tutorial of how to get a follower ad up and running from the front end, where you'll actually be able to track cost per follow, and you're going to be able to have an idea of how well your ads are performing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have data on how well your ads are performing, there's no point in posting them, because you don't know how much money you're spending versus how much you're getting back. So first things first is follower ads. When you run a follower ad, essentially what you need to do is you need to call out your specific demographic, and you need to tell them exactly why they should follow you. Now, I've got a couple different follower ads that I'm testing right now. One of them is the video where I'm holding signs in the street that says, guess how much money I make. And then I talk about how I help personal trainers make 100K per month. So that's the follower ad that I'm running right now. That's actually performing really well. Unfortunately, it takes about 24 hours for your ads to get approved and then to start running. So that ad has been running for the last few hours at least. And we've gotten, so far, it's gotten 2,500 views, 25 follows, and I've spent $25, which is really that's really where I want to be, is I want to be in the dollar per follower range. So when you're running follower ads, this is the metric that you want to track, is ideally you want to be in a range where you're getting about $1 per follower. About $1 per follower is a really good range. You can get $1 to $5 a follower if your ad is a lot more targeted. But for me, running my follower ads, I'm trying to do $1 per follower, which basically means if I spend $1,000, I'll gain 1,000 followers. So that's the follower ad. Now, that's one of the ads that I'm running. Another one of the follower ads that I am running is I'm running more direct. So I'm it basically do you want to learn how to grow your online coaching business? My name is Brian Mark. I'm the CEO of PT Domination. We generate this much money per year, and I will help you grow an online coaching business. All you got to do is follow me, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm running that as an ad, but I don't have enough data on it to report back on how exactly it's doing. But again, my goal is I'm going to run it, and my goal is to get $1 per follower. And if it gets $1 per follower, awesome. If it doesn't get $1 per follower, I turn it off. So essentially, the phase that I'm moving into in the next, I would say 30 to 60 days is I'm going to figure out which follower ads are performing the best. And then once I figure out what follower ads are performing the best, I'm going to start spending about, I'm going to start at $100 a day to test the ad. Once I test the ad and it is successful, at that point, what I will do is I will increase the ad spend to closer to $500 to $1,000 a day. Now, the reason that I'm able to do that is because on the back end, I know all my numbers. So the good news about the situation is like, I'm very aware of all my numbers in my business, which is why if you're ever growing a business and you want it to scale past $10,000 a month, you need to know your numbers, because I know on average for us, it takes about 30 new conversations to book one potential call with a prospect. So I know how many conversations I need to start in order to get one potential call with a prospect, which is 28. I'm getting about $1 per follower. So if I spend $28 and get 28 followers, I'm going to book one sales call out of that. I also know that my show rate is 50 to 60%. So if I want to get one call to show up, then I need to book 2 calls. So now all of a sudden, so that means that I need to get 56 conversations started to book 2 sales calls to get one to show up. I also know my closing rate is about 35%, which means I need to get 3 calls to show up in order to get one sale. So then I reverse engineer the numbers backwards. So then I need to get 6 calls booked, which will get 3 calls showed up. And out of 3 calls showed up, I'm going to get 1 sale. So then I need to get 6 calls booked. Then I'm like, okay, 6 times 28 is I need to start about 168 conversations to get 1 sale. And if I'm running the numbers correctly, basically what that means is that if I run $1 per follower ads, I'm going to get 168 conversations started, which will book me a total of 6 calls. Out of those 6 calls, I get about a 60% show rate. So that means 3.6 calls are going to show up. Out of those 3.6 calls, I have about a 35% close rate, which means I get 1 sale. So in order for me to get 1 sale on paper, because I know all my numbers, I know that I need to spend $168 to get 168 followers and then start conversations with those followers. Now, there's obviously other metrics that go into this. And the reason that I'm able to, confidently know these numbers is because I've trained my team really fucking well to start these conversations. Also, another thing that goes into this is making sure that the targeting on the ad is really good, which is why typically speaking, you'd want to do targeting that involved, if you're a busy dad that wants to tone up and get in the best shape of your life, blah, blah, blah. That way, when that ad gets shown to those people, then they're more likely to follow you if they are that demographic. Another thing to consider with ads, if you are listening to this and you're considering running a follower ad, is I wouldn't even consider running a follower ad unless you were doing $5,000 to $10,000 a month. It doesn't even make logical sense because you can get so much traffic just from your organic. I've got clients in my coaching program that'll get 200 to 500 views in a video, but the video is highly targeted towards a specific demographic. And as a result of that, they'll get people reaching out and booking calls from 200 to 500 views. So I don't really think you need to boost posts or run follower ads unless you are at 5 to 10K a month. Once you're at 5 to 10K a month, I think it's a fucking necessity to have some sort of boosted post or follower ad running. So you always have conversations in the inbox. So that's it. Those are the follower ads. And my strategy while my Instagram account, while I'm figuring out how to get it back, I've got literally dozens of people in my DMs that are like, I can help you get your account back. So I'm currently working with a guy right now, and he told me that he might be able to get it back to me within 7 days. So I'm basically trusting that. And then if this guy is not able to get my account back, I've got literally over a dozen people that are in my inbox right now that are like, I will help you get it back. So I'm currently in the waiting game. And honestly, I fucking hate the waiting game more than anything because I feel like I'm sitting here with my thumbs up my ass, for lack of a better term, not able to do very much. But that's kind of the game that we're playing right now, is the waiting game. So when I get any updates, I will definitely let you guys know. And in the meantime, if you like listening to my podcast, you got to listen to it on the podcast. You can't listen to it live. Love y'all. Have the best day of your entire life. Talk to you soon.
Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. Hopefully you got some value. If you did, and you want to learn more about how me and my team can help you scale your online fitness business to $10,000 a month, DM me 10K on Instagram at TheRealBrianMark for more information, and I'll reach out to you to see if I can help you grow an online coaching business.